Yo, what's up? What's up, YouTube? Good evening. Bible in a year. Back at it. Just one day today. I will remain one day behind after today. I'm gonna do yesterday's today, and I'll have yet to do today's. So I'll double up and get myself back on track in the next week or so. Getting around the holidays, and there's not as much time afforded to me to do it in the capacity of which I desire with this Bible in a year plan. Still getting some devotionals in and some reading in, but not like this. So we'll see how this next month goes. I will do my best. Hopefully I don't get too far behind at any point. I think I started this September 16th, so I want to try to be pretty close to that next year. That time next year, September 15th, 16th, I don't know. Reading from my English Standard Version, Study Bible. Drop some comments if you can help me understand some things better. Drop some prayer requests. Let me know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you could use prayer for. Be happy to add you to my list. Yeah, so same format. Tonight I've got Numbers 9 and 10. Then the first half of Mark chapter 4, and then Psalm 63. All right, let me pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for providing me comfort and reassurance that you're with me throughout the days. Lord, I thank you for the Bible. Thank you that I get a chance to read here right now in the peace of my own home. Lord, please, number one, let your will be done. But Lord, please look after and comfort other Christians around the world. Persecution seems to be getting more intense by the day. So Lord, just it will be done, but I ask for your protection over so many out there who love you so dearly till their last dying breath. And I ask those that have perished in your name that they're heavily blessed in heaven. Let this be an edifying time to me tonight, Lord. Let it be pleasing in your eyes, and help me to be aware of what you're trying to teach me tonight and be bold in my application of it going forward in my daily life. Thank you for your Son who died on the cross for my sins, and it's in his name that I pray. Jesus, amen. Okay. Mark chapters 9 and 10. Not Mark, Numbers chapter 9 and 10. What's going on in Numbers? Well, not too much. So we had the nation of Israel needing to develop their identity, resembling what God desires of them, which is holiness, righteousness, knowing that we're sinners, they're sinners, and we're never going to be completely holy and without blemish. But the Lord is trying to help mold this young nation after them getting out of Egypt, which is just recently. It's not long ago. I don't know how many years have elapsed from the time that we saw the actual Exodus to here now in Numbers. We're only a book and a half, 2 books removed. So we're not very far. I could do the math if I wanted to, and check out what my Bible, the timeline is for the notes. I actually maybe can answer that really quickly. I'm not gonna check too long. Okay, I'm not gonna try to find. It's looking like it is gonna lead me to it in the introduction to Numbers in my Bible, but I'm not going to. Anyways, new young nation trying to establish holiness. God is helping try to identify how to be holy through some commandments that He's given them, how to establish that within them through some commandments, notably the 10 Commandments, but then eventually many more that end up to be around 600 in total as time goes on from God. And then the religious elite create their other 600 and really just corrupt the system of and making it not truly resemble of what God really desires. And then Jesus comes to fix that, restore the covenant in a more holy, world encompassing way. And we live in a new day and age thanks to Him. But we had the new nation trying to find their way, God giving them these laws and commandments, how to be holy, how to not be unclean. If you find yourself unclean, how ways to get yourself back clean in the eyes of the Lord. Then we learned about the creation of the tabernacle, which is of utmost importance for the Israelites, as it's everything that goes into their spirituality with God. It's His holy dwelling place amongst them, where they're going to perform all types of rituals for Him, praises or atonements for sin through sacrifices. And we learned all about the tabernacle, how it was constructed. And then we got more laws throughout Leviticus. And now in Numbers, we have many laws established. And so it seems we had a census at the beginning of Numbers to establish how many able-bodied warriors they had. And really, we get an estimate of the total number of the Israelites, which is about 2 million at the time. And then, so after we've got some commandments and we've got how to use the tabernacle, it seems so far that right now we're learning about various people's jobs of sorts. We did hear one crazy story or ritual or test. My Bible translation labels it a test in Numbers chapter 5. And we talked about some unclean people again. But we talked about, we're finding out about people's jobs at this point. Different members of the different tribes, their jobs, I think mostly with the Levites. Just recently we learned about how many we got, yesterday's reading was crazy, redundant. Go ahead and read it for yourself. But we learned about the different peoples or sects of tribes of Levi, different groups within Levi, what their specific jobs were for the tabernacle and for transporting the tabernacle around the wilderness. And then they all made an offering, the exact same offering, all these 12 tribes to consecrate the tabernacle. Gosh, man, yesterday's reading was kind of challenging for me. I mean, this has not been the best recap. I'm sorry. Go ahead and read. Watch the past videos or just read. All right, I just need to get into it. This is Bible reading, not Bible recapping. Numbers chapters 9 and 10. Let me start with chapter 9, which is titled The Passover Celebrated. Okay, verse 1. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the people of Israel keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month, at twilight, you shall keep it at its appointed time. According to all its statutes and all its rules, you shall keep it. So Moses told the people of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the people of Israel did. And there were certain men who were unclean through touching a dead body, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and Aaron on that day. And those men said to him, We are unclean through touching a dead body. Why are we kept from bringing the Lord's offering at its appointed time among the people of Israel? And Moses said to them, Wait, that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you. Okay. So good on these men for recognizing that they're unclean, which was big because the Lord is all about that and has made multiple commandments regarding cleanliness and uncleanliness. And how you become unclean, in this case, from the touching of a dead body. Good on them that to recognize and not try to hide their uncleanliness. Because oftentimes uncleanliness, I wouldn't say oftentimes, but it happens where your uncleanliness is unseen. And so it's on you to recognize you're unclean and how to get back right. So good on them to recognize and still want to participate in the Passover. And they come to Moses, and good on Moses for saying, Hey, wait, let me ask big man over here. Let me ask God. And Moses not just giving them what he thinks. So we're going up the chain of command appropriately. Everyone's doing their job, playing their part. And now we get the Lord's response. Verse 9, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, If any one of you or of your descendants is unclean through touching a dead body, or is on a long journey, he shall still keep the Passover to the Lord. In the second month, on the 14th day at twilight, they shall keep it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any of its bones. According to all the statute for the Passover, they shall keep it. But if anyone who is clean and is not on a journey fails to keep the Passover, that person shall be cut off from his people because he did not bring the Lord's offering at its appointed time. That man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger sojourns among you and would keep the Passover to the Lord according to the statute of the Passover and according to its rule, so shall he do. You shall have one statute, both for the sojourner and for the native. Okay. So the Lord is going to permit the partaking from the unclean people. Good. You think that was going to be the outcome. So nice. One thing I got from this, though, that very last word, we see it. We don't see it in very many places, and I think we would see it more in national governments. But you shall have one statute, both for the foreigner and the local, the native. Excuse me. I would like to see some consistency in rules. Um, Moving on, the cloud covering the tabernacle. Verse 15, on the day that the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony. And at evening it was over the tabernacle like the appearance of fire until morning. So it was always. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud lifted from over the tent, after that the people of Israel set out, and in the place where the cloud settled down, there the people of Israel encamped. At the command of the Lord at the command of the Lord, the people of Israel set out, and at the command of the Lord they camped. As long as the cloud rested over the tabernacle, they remained in camp. Even when the cloud continued over the tabernacle many days, the people of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle, and according to the command of the Lord, they remained in camp. Then, according to the command of the Lord, they set out. And sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning. And when the cloud lifted in the morning, they set out. Or if it continued for a day and a night, when the cloud lifted, they set out. Whether it was 2 days or a month or a longer time that the cloud continued over the tabernacle, abiding there, the people of Israel remained in camp and did not set out, but when it lifted, they set out. At the command of the Lord they camped, and at the command of the Lord they set out. They kept the charge of the Lord at the command of the Lord by Moses. Okay, so that was the same concept and the same thing said 10 different times over. And each time the Israelites kept the charge of the Lord. Good on them. Doesn't say that they ever questioned it, even if it was one day. Like, Lord, why are we settled here just for one night? And then we got to pack back up, and we set down and completely set up camp, and then very next day you got to pick up and go again. But no, none of that. They just keep the charge of the Lord, doing it every which way, but exactly as he had commanded. So good for them. Okay. And then also we can, we saw in the Old Testament, in some of those first chapters in Genesis, and we saw people trying to take action into their own hands and speed up what they thought God's will was, and mold it to their own desires and what they think how things should go. God's timing is right, ours are not. Most times ours aren't, unless our heart is right, and which is then falls in line with God. And sometimes then our timing gets more in line with God's. But his timing is correct, and so we should recognize that today. Kind of treat our moving about in the same way. Sometimes be aware of what God's trying to say. Sometimes we're moving. He's taking us from one thing to another. Sometimes he might just be having us rest in life in a certain place for a month on end, or longer than that, a couple years. And it's important not to get too hasty, not to try to follow your own desires and ambitions, but rather be aware of what the Lord is wanting you to do. So that's what I'm getting from this. Okay, Numbers chapter 10. First is titled The Silver Trumpets. Verse 1, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, make 2 silver trumpets of hammered work, you shall make them, and you shall use them for summoning the congregation and for breaking camp. And when both are blown, all the congregation shall gather themselves to you at the entrance of the tent of meeting. But if they blow only one, then the chiefs, the heads of the tribes of Israel, shall gather themselves to you. When you blow an alarm, The camps that are on the east side shall set out, and when you blow an alarm the second time, the camps that are on the south side shall set out. An alarm is to be blown whenever they are to set out. But when the assembly is to be gathered together, you shall blow a long blast, but you shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow the trumpets. The trumpets shall be to you for a perpetual statute throughout your generations. And when you go to war in your land against the adversary who oppresses you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets, that you may be remembered before the Lord your God, and you shall be saved from your enemies. On the day of your gladness also, and at your appointed feasts, and at the beginnings of your months, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings. They shall be a reminder of you before your God. I am the Lord your God. I always love when he has those like reaffirmations of I am the Lord your God, or just I am the Lord. Like boom. No questions asked. This is what's up. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord. Okay, so we just keep getting a little bit more detailed on how to operate, how to run this nation. So now we have a communication system meant for different things. So, good. Moving on. This portion of chapter 10 now gets into titled Israel Leaves Sinai. Okay, so finally we're leaving Sinai. Verse 11, in the second year, in the second month, on the 20th day of the month, the cloud lifted from over the tabernacle of the testimony, and the people of Israel set out by stages from the wilderness of Sinai. And the cloud settled down in the wilderness of Paran. They set out for the first time at the command of the Lord by Moses. The standard of the camp of the people of Judah set out first by their companies, and over their company was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. And over the company of the tribe of the people of Issachar was Nethanel, the son of Zuar. And over the company of the tribe of the people of Zebulun was Eliab, the son of Helon. And when the tabernacle was taken down, the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari, who carried the tabernacle, set out. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set out by their companies, and over their company was Eleazar, the son of Shadur. And over the company of the tribe of the people of Simeon was Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. And over the company of the tribe of the people of Gad was Eliasaph, the son of Duel, something like that. Then the Kohathites set out, carrying the holy items, or the holy things, and the tabernacle was set up before their arrival. And the standard of the camp of the people of Ephraim set out by their companies, and over their company was Elishama, the son of Ammihud, and over the company of the people of Manasseh was Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, and over the company of the tribe of the people of Benjamin was Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Then the standard of the camp of the people of Dan, acting as the rear guard of all the camps, set out by their companies, and over their company was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, and over the company of the tribe of the people of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Ochran, and over the company of the tribe of the people of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Anan. This was the order of march of the people of Israel by their companies when they set out. Right. So we learned how God wanted them to, and now finally we're doing it for the first time, setting out, and they're doing it exactly as God had commanded them. Verse 29, and Moses said to Hobab, the son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are setting out for the place of which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will do good to you. For the Lord has promised good to Israel. But he said to him, I will not go. I will depart to my own land and to my kindred. And he said, Please do not leave us, for you know where we should camp in the wilderness, and you will serve as eyes for us. And if you do go with us, whatever good the Lord will do to us, the same will we do to you. So they set out from the mount of the Lord for 3 days' journey. And the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them 3 days' journey, to seek out a resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was over them by day, whenever they set out from the camp. And whenever the ark set out, Moses said, Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you. And when it rested, he said, Return, O Lord, to the 10,000 thousands of Israel. Okay. So, why did we get that last part about Hobab, the son of Reuel, the Midianite? Just wondering. The relationship of Hobab and Reuel to Jethro is uncertain. The least difficult solution is that Reuel and Jethro are alternative names of Moses' father-in-law. We knew him previously as Jethro. This would make Hobab Moses' brother-in-law. In Judges 4:11, Hobab's descendants are called Kenites, whereas here he is called a Midianite. Probably the Kenites were a subgroup of the Midianites. The Lord has promised good to Israel, that is, the land. And when it says, I will part to my own land and to my kindred, Hobab apparently rejects the offer of a share in Canaan. It is not clear if Moses' subsequent entreaty persuaded him to change his mind, for the text does not say. In Numbers chapters 25 and 31, the Midianites are fierce enemies of Israel. That's what I thought. But in Judges chapter 1 verse 16 and chapter 4 verse 11, the Kenites are Israel's allies living in Canaan. So, yeah, maybe I'll learn more of where that goes. I was very curious as to why that was included, that little part right there, but I don't know. I think perhaps he did end up going with Moses into the land of Canaan, but also I was like, yeah, I swore the Midianites were enemies. Very sad considering the ties that they had at one time between Moses and Jethro. Okay, moving on. Mark chapter 4, first half. What do we got? Good chance it's something that we read already in Matthew. Mark we're getting a lot of the same stuff, just less detail, but it's good. I like that Mark, it's a nice refresher to me at least about what all I had read in Matthew. So I don't have too much recap. You know, we're back we're in the midst of Jesus's ministry here in Mark, the first couple chapters of Mark. Mark just gets right into his ministry, basically. Nothing about his birth, just gets right into his ministry. Okay, so today we've got, first 20 verses of Mark chapter 4. And Mark chapter 4 is titled The Parable of the Sower. So not, again, something we've read. But I'm going to read it again. Okay, verse 1. Again he began to teach beside the sea, and a very large crowd gathered about him, so that he got into a boat and set it out on the sea, and the whole crowd was beside the sea on the land. And he was teaching them many things in parables, and in his teaching he said to them, Listen, behold, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured it. Other seed fell on rocky ground where it did not have much soil, and immediately it sprang up, since it had no depth of soil, and when the sun rose, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no grain. And other seeds fell into good soil and produced grain, growing up and increasing and yielding 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold. And he said, He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Okay. And now, last time in Matthew is when I was like, okay, what does this mean? I started reading the notes. Luckily, Jesus answers and gives a meaning for us. So let me get into that. The purpose of the parables. Verse 10. And when he was alone, those around him with the 12 asked him about the parables. And he said to them, to you has been given the secret of the kingdom of God, but for those outside, everything is in parables, so that they may indeed see, but not perceive, and may indeed hear, but not understand, lest they should turn around and be forgiven. Lest they should turn and be forgiven. Okay. And he said to them, do you not understand this parable? How then will you understand all the parables? The sower sows the word, or the seeds, and these are the ones along the path where the word is sown. When they hear, Satan immediately comes and takes away the word that is sown in them. And these are the ones sown on rocky ground, the ones who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy, and they have no root in themselves, but endure for a while. Then when tribulation or persecution arises on the account of the word, immediately they fall away. And others are the ones sown among the thorns. They are those who hear the word, but the cares of the world and the deceit and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter and choke out the word, and it proves unfruitful. But those that were sown on the good soil are the ones who hear the word and accept it and bear fruit 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold, which are amazing yields. It's a very high quantity. I think a regular nice yield is just like 5-fold to about 15, and so we're already doubling it. 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. But okay, so Jesus tells us what the purpose is, and I'm glad he did, because this is a reaffirmation to me. I kind of forgot. So the sower goes around spreading the word, spreading the seeds, which is the word, the good news. When it just falls right onto the path, that's where Satan just immediately comes up and removes the word from them. The birds just come down, Satan just comes down immediately and devours it. Then it's sown into rocky ground, which is where so many people find themselves, myself included, a fair amount of times, where it falls down into the cracks. It's immediately received with joy, but it doesn't have much room to grow. And so when tough times come, fall away. And then there's those that it falls into the thorns, but immediately gets choked out, essentially because the one who received it in thorns just doesn't really even care, and they desire the world, and they desire wealth and fame and all types of things, and the word is like way down on their list of priorities. And then we want to be the good soil, or we want to be on the good soil. When the word is sown into us, we have good soil, and we are able to bear fruit and have great yields. So find yourself in the good soil. And if you recognize yourself as being in one of those other conditions, what can you do to try to get yourself in good soil? And you can change your condition by turning away from sin, turning away from the world, and turning to God, asking for forgiveness. Okay. Nice, easy read in Mark. The New Testament is always so much easier than the Old Testament, except for when the Old Testament is telling some sweet stories. See, the Old Testament has some banger stories that are true, which makes them even more awesome. All right, I don't recap the Psalms, and I'm turning to Psalm chapter 63 right now. So let me go ahead and read it. This song's titled My Soul Thirsts for You. Okay, good. So just yesterday we read My Soul Waits for God Alone and Intense. How the waiting, but it's like thirsting for God. It's longing for Him. Okay, let's do this. Verse 1. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night, for you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped. Okay. Dang, man. If you're not with him, you're going to get destroyed, and you're going to be a portion. You're going to be food for the jackals. Don't do that. Long for the Lord. Swear by him. Exalt God. All who swear by him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped. Yes, they will. We'll recognize that, and we can rejoice in God for taking care of us, for helping us. It's just a very positive psalm. Tells you all the things that he's going to do for you. He'll protect you. He'll help you. He'll give you steadfast love. And it's better than life. Verse 3, your steadfast love is better than life. Therefore my lips will praise you. Okay. Good stuff. That's all I got. This is 39 minutes. This is a nice, easy read tonight. Praise be to God. All right. Day 63 done. Still one day behind. It's okay. I'll get it back. I'm going to pray and call tonight. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this reading tonight, Lord. Some good things that in here that are I want to keep in the forefront of my mind. It's a good check on me, Lord. So thank you for this reading. It's a good check on where I'm at in my life. Thank you for that passage in Mark, where I get to check my condition. And Lord, help me to always be in the good soil, so that way I can bear fruit through the sowing of your word, of these seeds into my life through the word, through the Bible, that I may bear fruit and um, be rich in life for you. So if I stumble, Lord, help me to get back in those good conditions. Stay out of the thorns, stay off the dry land or the path, stay out of the rocks. So help me to be always in tune with where I'm at. And what, if I ever do stumble, what I need to do to get back on the good soil. Thank you for taking care of me, even through all the challenging times. Thank you for your steadfast love. I realize just how great it is, more and more every day. I feel it more and more every day. And it truly is better than life. So I thank you for that, Lord. And I love you and I praise you. Lord, I've committed some sins. You know what they are. Please, Lord, forgive me of my sins. Help me to go forward, taking these passages, applying them into my life. Thank you for your Son and all that He brought with Him and took out of the world with Him, so that way I can spend eternity with you. Thank you for His parables. Thank you for His teachings. Thank you for His life. And it's His name that I pray, Jesus. Amen. Okay. That's all I got. I'm done. I'm calling it a night. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Good night and God bless.